What to do? What to do?
Don't do it, Seymour. You've never broken school rules, ever.
You wimp.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oh, well, here we are again. Another situation of simply patiently waiting for Democrats to do the right thing. Of course, we'll be waiting here forever. I mean, literally forever, because that's never gonna happen. You know, it's an endless wait. It's a naive endeavor to sit here expectantly waiting for Democrats to follow the basic standard that they constantly espouse. Here's a famous Democrat quote that we've referenced endlessly on this channel, and that's the media's favorite statement of, quote, "No one is above the law." Well, apparently no one's above the law, except for Democrats who break the law, right? Well, folks, we have another Democrat who seems to have committed a felony, literally committed a felony, caught on camera, exposed for the world to see. Now we're just sitting here simply waiting for Democrats to do the right thing, you know, do what they would do if the individual who was caught committing this act was a Republican. In that case, he would probably be facing, I don't know, what is it, 5 counts of treason, facing RICO charges, criminal conspiracy charges, 18 counts of insurrection. Let me show you guys what happened. We're living in a weird world these days. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So I'm sure you guys have been following what's been going on in Washington lately. The threat of government shutdown looms, and tensions are high in Washington. Today, as I'm recording this video, so probably yesterday as you guys are watching this on release, the House had a very crucial vote hit the floor, trying to put together a deal to avoid a government shutdown, and then this happened.
Crazy. Yep.
All of a sudden, right as the vote was gonna happen, the fire alarm in the building goes off. Many people questioning what is going on, only for it to be revealed a little while later that the fire alarm went off not accidentally or not in response to a buildup of carbon or an actual fire. No, the fire alarm went off because Democrat Representative Jamal Bowman literally pulled the fire alarm. Here's a photo of CCTV footage from the Capitol released by Capitol Police showing Democrat Representative, New York Democrat Representative, this guy,
allows teachers to carry.
Carry guns?
Would you
More guns lead
co-sponsor?
to more death.
Would you co-sponsor
More
that bill?
guns lead to more death.
pulling the fire alarm, forcing an evacuation because Democrats were trying to buy more time ahead of the vote. And this actually comes right after Democrat Representative Jamal Bowman said the government shutdown is frustrating for Americans and embarrassing for House Republicans. Well, based on the CNN data that we covered yesterday,
I think this one was a bit of a surprise to me, given I think what the conventional wisdom is. So there have been a number of polls on this. So who would you mainly blame for a government shutdown? Actually, the plurality blamed Joe Biden or the Democrats in Congress at 39%, the GOP in Congress at 33%, both equally at 22%. But in the 2 polls that I have seen, when you combine Biden and the congressional Democrats, more voters blame them than blame Republicans in Congress. And that is very different than what we've seen in prior shutdowns. So who is the public blame for prior shutdowns? Republicans in 95, 96, Republicans in 2013, and Republicans in 2018-19. So this may be a shutdown that is quite different than that in terms of the public blame, because at least at this point, more Americans say they'll blame Biden and or the Democrats in Congress.
it seems as though this government shutdown, this Biden government shutdown is only embarrassing for one crew and one crew alone, and that's Joe Biden and Democrats in Congress. But now increasingly more embarrassing for Democrats as they sent one of their goons to pull the fire alarm, obstructing congressional proceedings. And here's where things get real interesting. Here's an interesting federal law. Whoever corruptly alters, destroys, mutilates, or conceals a record, document, or other subject, or attempts to do so with the intent to impair the object's integrity or availability for use in an official proceeding, or otherwise obstructs, influences, or impedes any official proceeding, or attempts to do so, shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. Obstructing official congressional proceedings is a felony where individuals individuals found guilty can either be fined or face prison time of up to 20 years, or possibly both. And so Mr. Jamal Bowman, well, technically he should be in big trouble. Here we had a vote hitting the House floor, and Jamal Bowman thought the most appropriate course of action would be not to participate in the vote, which of course is his duty. No, what he decided to do instead was obstruct the vote by purposely pulling the fire alarm. And obviously the timing's no coincidence, that had to be his intention. Not exactly sure what his defense is gonna be. I'm lying, by the way, that's literally just a segue. I know exactly what his defense is. This is Jamal Bowman's team responding to the CCTV footage, which clearly shows him pulling the fire alarm. Bowman's spokeswoman, Congressman Bowman, did not realize he would trigger a building alarm as he was rushing to make an urgent vote. The congressman regrets any confusion. I mean, what did I just read? Jamal Bowman, adult man, educated adult man. In fact, so capable, so intellectual, so educated that he is an elected representative of one of the most populous states in the nation. Yet that guy apparently doesn't know what a fire alarm does. And his excuse was, well, he was rushing to make an urgent vote and he just had to make a very important pit stop, not to, I don't know, get a water bottle or something or go take a leak. No, to pull the fire alarm. He had to interact with that red lever. He just had to pull it down in a confused state, not knowing what it was or what it did, because apparently it was imperative that he do so as he rushed to make his urgent vote. Yet again, what an embarrassing moment for congressional Democrats. The government shutdown, it's the Republicans' fault. Those evil, pesky Republicans. Blame them. You know, those evil Republicans who are literally actively trying to pass a funding bill and trying to negotiate in decent faith to bring spending back to rational common sense levels, to close the border. Yeah, those evil Republicans trying to negotiate. Yeah, it's their fault, not the political party that pulls fire alarms so they can continue this government shutdown and their phony propaganda attempts to pin all the government dysfunction on Republicans. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. It's yet again another example of a Democrat tantrum. This is what Democrats do when they don't get what they want. This is what Democrats do when they lose the House. You know, the American people literally elected Republicans to be a majority, to have control over legislation being written and being passed in the House of Representatives. That is the electoral will of American voters. Republicans are in charge of legislation. When they're trying to pass spending reforms, that's not Republicans acting in partisan interest. That is the democratic will of American voters. And Democrats, as usual, view themselves as almighty, as above the will of American voters. And so this is how they act, putting their party's demand above all else and threatening government shutdown, playing these ridiculous games and using these ridiculous tactics to essentially get what they want. It's absolutely disgraceful as usual. This Jamal Bowman guy continues to be one of the biggest clowns in Washington. I mean, what a defense. He just didn't know what he was doing. He was confused. He saw a big red button and he just pressed it, not knowing that it would cause an alarm, not knowing that it would cause this kind of pandemonium. Now, okay, maybe the hologram of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez crying above the Capitol was edited in after the fact, but the point remains, he caused absolute chaos, and he knew that that's what would happen. He knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't confused, considering Jamal Bowman used to be the school principal at Cornerstone Academy for Social Action, which has written in their school rules, in their school guidelines, that calling 911 or signaling or setting off an automatic signal falsely indicating the presence of a fire or an emergency is prohibited. Level 5, suspension for 10 days with a contract, and Level 6, long-term suspension/expulsion. Those are the school rules at the school that Jamal Bowman was a principal of. So at this point, it's time to patiently wait for Democrats to do the right thing. No one's above the law. And so here we have legitimate evidence of a Democrat representative of your boy Democrats clearly breaking the law. And so the calls to prosecute have begun.
No, I want to talk about Jamal Bowman pulling the fire alarm. Capitol Police are questioning him right now because it's on video. That he violated the exact same law that January 6th defendants are being prosecuted for every single day. He violated the exact same law, interrupting an official proceeding, and by pulling a fire alarm. It's on video, and the Capitol Police have the information.
Did you see
this is
what
outrageous.
happened?
They have it on video.
And now it's just a patient waiting game, waiting for Democrats to simply abide by the basic standards that they apply to everybody else. Yeah, right. As if that's ever gonna happen. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.